There's
Oh
something
shit!
new every
The
week.
music's still going. Hold on, let me turn off the music. Blue Bloppy, welcome to the show with Dead and Me.
He's been doing this for the last like 4 minutes now. He's in the mood. Hello and welcome to Griefers Pub, guys. Tonight we're going to be discussing if
what are we discussing?
What are we discussing? That's a really good question. I wish that we had like this whole like prompt that I could like read, and I wish that I actually updated that, and I'm not going to worry about it. So tonight we're going to be talking about placeholders and endgame content and whether or not PvP is actually Star Citizen's focused endgame content. And with that being said, guys, hopefully you're all doing well. Reaper, good to see you. Continue, good to see you. Placeholder.
The entire game is a placeholder. Everything in it that exists literally is a placeholder. So
here's the thing:
there's a lot of content to talk about.
So there is new content, but a lot of it is so incomplete all the time that it feels like that is what you say. Like, hey, you join a new friend, they're like, hey, this is really cool. What else does it do? It's just like, it's not ready yet.
It's not exactly.
Have you ever had those conversations? You know what I'm talking about?
Well, will you tell people it's not ready yet? Like, oh, it's a great game, but it's, you know,
it's incomplete.
It's not a great game yet, but it's kind of a great game. Like, it's heading in the direction of a great game. Sometimes it's not, but sometimes it is, and it has a lot of cool concepts.
Sometimes it works.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I describe it. Yeah, that's the game. All right, so what do you want me to do? You want to switch over to the review?
Yeah, let's go to a panel really quick. There was actually something that Tumble posted the other week in Discord. Actually, I really want to check this one out. So from what I understand, this is a post by King Bob himself. Look at that.
By Blue Bloppy.
So it says
great when it works, but it doesn't work 80% of the time.
It says the focus on PvP and Star Citizen events and endgame. Dear developers, dear community, with Alpha, I wish I could do like a German accent, then I could make it a little bit more authentic, right? With Alpha 4.1 comes.
Hold on.
Thanks, Shankers.
Thank you. Freaking A, dude, with the gifts. Shankers, I appreciate it, man.
Thanks for the support, man. Appreciate
Shankers are always super nice.
He is. With Alpha 4.1 comes the new event, A Line in Mine, which introduces some new exciting mechanics. However, it seems that access to certain area resources, especially Keratrine, maybe this is like a translation thing, is only possible through a single highly contested zone. This creates a significant hurdle for all those players who focus on PvE part of Star Citizen. Fighting against NPCs, you don't have to explain it. I think we all know what that means. As well as more economic, explorative, I couldn't say that for a second, and industrial gameplay, and do not want to get involved in direct PvP conflicts. While the earlier event Supply or Die allowed for different approaches, A Line in Mine seems to be a one-way street here, involving an excessive PvP focus and a lack of PvE mechanics. We have seen such PvE only or PvP wall problems. What the fuck is this Bobsplaining bullshit that I'm listening to? Sorry. Problems in the past, for PvP example, wall. With the PvP wall. Never mind. With the example of the platinum ticket, the Idris event, and also with other various events. How many? Okay, so before we continue this topic, how many events have we had that have been purely PvE focused?
Purely PvE?
Yeah.
I don't think there was any, was there? Events?
Xenothreat?
Xenothreat isn't. Well, it's PvE.
You could PvP there, but it wasn't intended for PvP.
I think that's what the confusion is too. Is that he thinks that just because it's not like PvE protected or PvP protected means it's PvP event, when it realistically that's not how it works, right? It's just people are free to basically do what they want.
But it's not an intended PvP only event, right? Like I don't know.
Let me think.
This is a weird one. So he's also given this like nonsense. While the earlier event Supply allowed. So A Line in Mine. I probably typed this wrong on a few things.
Wait, what is it? A Line in Mine? Okay, A Line in Mine seems to be the only
I know it's like CIG is trying to go for like a Dr. Seuss appeal or something. I don't know what's going on here.
A Line in Mine. Don't get left
Supply or die.
behind. Supply. Sorry. Green eggs and ham. Want to do
Okay.
mine some
Let you know what,
green
before I
eggs
keep
and
reading
ham?
into this, why is this problematic? The event mechanics currently almost exclusively reward those who actively engage in PvP combat. This creates a PvP compulsion. Players who tend to specialize in logistics, mining, or trade, or who generally prefer a PvE solution, have little opportunity to meaningfully participate in the event. It would be good for the game, Star Citizen, in general, if there is always a pure PvE solution for end content, events, and other complex things, as well as an additional PvP solution, so that all players can find themselves in the game and
Could
be
I just
fulfilled.
make a comment? They're basically
Yeah,
this is a reoccurring thing, right? Where basically what people are doing is that they're seeking solutions for the PvP problem in a game
yeah,
that doesn't have any of the mechanics ready yet, and that's the problem. The problem isn't a PvP problem. The problem is a mechanic free problem. You know what I mean? That's
yeah.
that's that's what it really comes down to. Like
Mhm.
I don't know the idea that they basically made it so people don't lose their high value items. It's like they're like, "Yay, we saved! CIG saved the day." But now I feel like what that does also is it just encourages more like meaningless slaughter. You know, it's like because people aren't going to be happy with just that because they could still just die and lose their time anyway and have to go and redo whatever they're doing. I know they wake up with this shit on, but you know, you're never going to be protected fully from consequence. You know.
Yeah. I
Anyway,
mean,
but
so speaking of consequence, this whole event, I'm actually going to bring up a slide for this. Takes place in excuse me. It takes place in Stanton. So this is kind of like a rough overview. Um, at a glance, derelict hath. I don't know if I can bring this out a little bit more. Let's see there. That's better. I'm gonna have you read because I can't read. I don't.
okay.
I can't read.
Derelict. Hathor. Facilities are a mission location combined with a sandbox activity for ground and flight, occupied by Nine Tails Gang with a fast respawn rate. There are several new mercenary contracts that direct you to the facilities, including unverified contracts. Aberdeen and Daymar have two orbital laser platforms, and each orbital laser platform, OLP, is linked to one unmarked control bunker and three planetary alignment facilities. So this is a review of what?
This is called Mine and Align.
Mine and Dine.
Mine and Dine. Yep. There you go.
I like
Dine
that.
on the Tears of Bobs.
They should have named it Mine and Dine. I don't know.
So pretty much more or less what you got to do is there's two stages to this where you've got to clear out the ground location, to my understanding, first. So you go to the planetary alignment facility, gather a set of cards. You need to bring this up to, I think this is where Prince, I believe. Haven't done PTU, so
Prince, the artist formerly known as Prince.
yeah, he's actually from. Never mind. Um, So the main objective: power up the
He would
laser
be Nine
and
Tails.
the laser activation key. Two OLP storage key printers in the main control area to access the four storage rooms. So pretty much like loot rooms. Okay, cool. Tractor GPXP batteries to open the power units on the two landing pads. Head to the central control room. You know, I'm reading a lot of this, and this sounds like it's intended to be run with not a solo like person. It's
Yeah,
supposed to be a group, right?
yeah, probably. I mean,
So
I
if
feel like a
you're,
lot of what
you
they're
know,
doing in the game is not meant to be solo, realistically.
yeah,
I
I
don't
mean, a
think
lot
I'm
of this
wrong in
this is
that.
again, this is intended to be like placeholder, content until we
Mhm.
actually get like endgame
Yeah,
content. Is what it feels like, right?
it's
But
placeholder. Yep.
regardless, it's cool. We don't have space worms yet or anything. So activate ground activation bunker, find the bunker and activate the laser. Bunker has no signature or marker and can be hard to spot. Head straight down from the laser emission on the OLP. So like when you activate the laser, it's pretty much like an orbital laser and it just
So this is
drills
a
right into the
new
ground.
location and everything.
New locations. Yep, these are all in Stanton too. So they're on Aberdeen and Daymar.
It's just an event.
It's an event. I don't know if they're permanent. That's a really good question, but to my knowledge, I think they are going to be.
So the locations probably stay even if the mission
Yeah.
isn't there.
I mean, think about like how we have static locations now because of mine or dine. What was the other supplier die or
Hold on. I just gotta do this
I
real
know.
quick. One moment. And
Make the sound effect. Good.
I don't know how many. Thank you, Shakes. 14. I gotta do that 14 times. And for no reason.
Supply and cry.
For no
Oh
reason.
man. So
Sorry. Please no.
okay. Please don't. Yep.
Thank us. Give us 300 more. Just
We
because
gotta
I'm
make
trying
the
to get
event.
a contagion back.
I'm gonna get back
300
on topic.
times.
Back
All
on
right, all
topic.
right. Sorry,
Laser
sorry.
impact threat. So the laser hits the ground, opens up this like entire area, this cave system that has all three of these. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce these because I will butcher them like
Hold
crazy.
on.
So if you want
Jacklium?
to,
Saltinium. I said salty. I had to.
salty
Saltinium.
micnium, is that what you said?
Saltinium.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Okay, got
Saltinium.
it.
And
Mhm.
cartonite. Caronite. That's not
Karen
too
Knight.
bad.
Karen Knight. You're gonna
Caronite.
talk to your man.
Oh
Talk to your
man, that's
manager.
gotta be the you know what? They should put little Karen here on it.
Okay. So
No,
this is the
not.
new event, just like at a glance. At a glance, this is the new event. I mean, looking at it, it looks pretty cool. There are both PVE elements and PvP elements. I'm gonna backtrack a little bit here to the existing one, and actually, this whole event, I felt like they did a pretty damn good job with this one, with
It
bridging the
does
gap
seem pretty
of
cool.
PvP
I like that
and
there's a
PvE.
new location and everything. It is cool.
Mhm.
Um, so hold on though. So what Neville is talking about is how this is gonna
Should we go
be
back to it?
a
It's gonna
problem.
be it's gonna be a problem because they intersect too much. We're
Yeah.
afraid of not polarizing the community is what I'm hearing.
So doesn't CIG have the plan to at some point allow you to also hire NPCs, have them, work on your ship and stuff like that to help?
Something placeholder is all I'm hearing right now. I'm sorry. That's all I gotta say.
Well, no, it just kind of plays
Yeah.
into the idea of what I was saying about the problem we're having again isn't this the PvP isn't the problem. The problem is that those mechanics still don't exist,
They
you
don't
know?
yeah. So it is exactly that. What we have is an unpolished alpha, and right now they're just giving us something to stay busy, is what it feels like,
Mm,
until they hopefully at some point 2 years later, of course, present something that is an actual product for a game. It has end game content, it has like a start to finish, it has progression, but right now we don't have that. We have
yeah.
like placeholders again. We didn't read this. Suggestions for improvement: create alternate procurement methods through isolated ore deposits outside the hotspot zone, or through purchasing options from NPC traders at very high prices and low stock. NPC merchant ships that carry such goods can be looted, for example, through piracy with the risk of getting a crime stat, or through legal bounty missions. So the problem with this one, with the risk of getting a crime stat, it doesn't matter if you get a crime stat. The bounties aren't fucking working in the first place. Yes, you could probably do
There's
like
another
call to arms,
problem.
but
That's
it's
another
it's another problem. So
PvP
conclusion,
problem.
I'm just going to finish this so we don't have to, keep going with the Bob splaining. Conclusion: an event like Align or Mine offers enormous potential for integrating even more playstyles. He just doesn't want them to coincide together. That's what I'm reading here. If Star Citizen continues to see itself as an open, diverse space simulation, open means that you can go. I don't know. You're going to have
Wait,
those
hold
intersections.
on. Can I just
Yeah, it would be a great enrichment if this and future events offered several solutions that would offer both PvP and PvE opportunities instead of focusing on just one particular way of participating.
Okay, isn't that the point of instanced like stuff? So they're also going to introduce instanced
2 years later, yeah.
raid and all of that stuff. So that's the solution. That's one of the solutions because I'm not going to be able to get into your instance I'm only gonna be able to get into my own instance
Open,
unless I'm in
diverse
your
space
party.
simulation. So
Yeah,
this is what
they
I'm hearing. It's great until somebody knocks down your sandcastle.
yeah.
You
Who's
like the
Nebel, by
sandbox
the way?
until that happens. Nebel is the German streamer. I think he's German. He
Okay,
has
well,
like he's the 24/7 guy. He's probably like above us in views for that reason. It's just always active somehow. I don't know.
oh, I appreciate your input, Mr. Nebel.
Oh, hey, there you go.
Baby bottle. A while
Baby
ago.
bottle. Okay.
Hold on.
Uh,
814 upvotes. Bruh. We're doomed.
I mean, yeah, we're doing. Yeah, we have no say in that one. So just overall, I don't know. That's I don't know. Like I said, like if you open world sandbox, but you don't want the things that come with an open world,
Hey, rinse up.
is what I'm reading.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, what can you say? I mean, the ironic thing, look, we both know that pretty much all the developers are the same people who are crying about the open and diverse world with the allowable PvP, right? They're not losing money with the PvP being there, so they're not changing it because they're afraid of losing money. They're changing it because they don't like it. I think. I think, and the way I see it is that things are going in a scary direction of ease of
Because
gameplay.
PvP and
Yeah.
unpredictable environments are risky and apparently not fun to certain individuals. Which I understand. Yeah, you're going to have that kind of gameplay, but that's what drives the adrenaline, I think, into the game. That unpredictability, I think, is also the beauty of like an open sandbox universe too.
I mean,
You
yeah,
have that player agency. Player
yeah,
agency is where it's at.
that's exactly it, Scars System. Bob's want all reward, no risk. I mean, realistically, they think they want it, but they'll
Mhm.
get bored fast, and then the game loses its base or whatever. Like you want longevity, there needs to be risk and reward. There needs to be there needs to be some risk. There needs to be time sinks, right? I mean, this stuff is all
Money sinks,
necessary.
resource sinks. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, you can't
We'll
just
talk
get the
about that.
best of everything immediately. What's
I
that?
know, no. Yeah, so we'll talk about that actually in a little bit here. We could go through some more Spectrum posts. I have these here. I don't know if you want to read them all. I don't necessarily want to read them all, but we can.
I say just go through whatever you feel like, and I'll have my 2 cents to say, like always.
Okay, I'm gonna
Which
try and
the
see if I
whole
can find like.
PVE community loves what I have to say.
So earlier
Yeah.
today, I kind of went through like a list of different posts that seem kind of relevant for this. I tried to take it from both ends of the spectrum to, kind of get an idea. Um, there are actually some that have some good input and don't present like such a polarized like topic in, more constructive manners. It's kind of refreshing to see that. Let me see what I can find.
CIG, how about you guys?
Here's one. Here's one by Acid Burn. Come
CIG,
in.
why don't you guys like get the mechanics together that are meant to be there that will help alleviate some of this instead of just slowly diminishing away the PvP portion of the. Because that's my fear. And like if the mechanics were there, I think people will still complain because they always just complain, right? But
Yeah,
a
of
lot of
course.
those safeguards would be there. Like work, like get this stuff together. I mean, I think you can only do so much, but I don't. What the hell, progress? What's going on? Anyway, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
No, it's okay. I've got a post by Acid Burn. Lack of engaging content is the largest contributor towards PvP.
Yeah.
At least that's what I
Yes.
believe. Never mind the ethics or morals. I've lived on both sides of the table here as a PvE enthusiast, but also a dedicated PvPer, constantly trying to improve upon my skills as a pilot. I've been a dick. I've been the dick, but I've also been the hero, and I sympathize for both
Deleted by
sides
Night
here on
Rider.
that topic. Don't do it. It's gonna happen. But the number one thing that has me doing PvP activities is the sheer lack of thoughtful and engaging content. I
Yeah.
think it is one of those things where, we're playing a sandbox game. You got to make your own content. If it's
Well,
getting to a point where you're relying on CIG to do that, you're going to get bored really fast.
yeah.
You're going to run
Uh,
out of stuff to do.
Here's the other thing: is that with these, placeholder events and stuff, it's
Yeah.
not adding depth still. You guys are just it's just like just adding pastimes or whatever. But the depth isn't it still isn't there, and that's part of the problem is we're not getting the depth we need to keep us feeling like there's something we need to engage in, you know? The first week of Pyro 4.0 release was great because it was like, oh, we can work towards getting stuff for the ships and stuff, but it was short-lived and the
Yeah.
depth just disappeared,
100%. Yeah, I know what you mean. Sorry. Um,
The true
so it
parent of
says,
Hobos is
let
boredom.
me, do I want to, this is, what does it mean by, oh, last reply. Okay. Another good way, I'm just going to TLDR the rest of this if that's okay. Or we could just read it all the way through. In my opinion, we really need to start pushing CIG towards making thoughtful and engaging content. Sure, the missions are fun and the events can be great at times, but we need content that engage all types of players. Events that give
Mhm.
rewards for participations and also cater towards each kind of player. And this is kind of going on what Neville's saying. I kind of get what they're saying, but you shouldn't just be afraid to intersect with other types of like gameplay. You know, you should be more open and adaptive to those environments because you're going to have to be. That's just the way that, sandbox games are. I mean, look at PvPers
Yeah.
and like how
Are you
many
gonna
times
have to
did
be
you
though,
do?
or are they gonna bend the knee? Also, I'm sorry, bearded blank. If you could share the link, if there's like, or if you have like a picture or something, you could send through Discord because I'm curious about that.
I
But
heard about that. I did hear about that.
did you? I'm curious. I
Hmm.
hadn't heard about it.
It's no longer on. They deleted that and then they banned them.
Do you have it? What was it?
I don't know.
Oh, is it off top? Oh, you don't want to say?
No, I just don't know. I really
Oh,
don't know.
well, okay, all right then. That's fine. If you do have a screenshot though, feel free to send it to Discord and I'll
Hmm.
take a look at
We
it.
can actually bring it up here too. Yeah, I was just
Yeah.
gonna say. Um,
Go ahead.
yeah.
Yeah.
So COG has to please each type of player on every event. Best way to achieve this is through creativity. Given the PvP or
Okay.
something worth fighting for is crucial to this idea.
CIG does not have to please every player, first of all, because not
Nope.
every event is going to be for every player, right?
Agreed.
I
Yep.
do again. So this goes back to the mechanics, missing mechanics. I do agree that there needs to be some form of balance where it's more advantageous to do the PVE stuff, right? And you're at disadvantage being PvP, but that needs to be created through the in-game mechanics that don't exist. And I
Yeah.
think that's really my biggest thing. It goes back to that, in my opinion. In fact, it always goes back to that,
Hmm.
realistically.
Yeah. I mean, how many PVE events did we grind through without like we like complained a little bit, but we didn't make it the end of the world. Like you had to do you remember the Art of Repeater one where we did like all those missions?
Yeah, and not only were they boring, but on top of that, the ships were not where they would desyncy mess, right? And
Yep.
for a while, it was like you show up and nothing was there. It was every part of it. The PVE wasn't even with the game. The PVE was with the servers. It was terrible.
It
Yeah,
was,
I
yeah, I
remember
remember
that.
that.
I
I
remember
mean,
that.
that was before like meshing was like properly introduced, and I mean, we're still seeing some, issues with meshing, but it's in a much better state. I will say that. The one positive on that event was when we got to take control of the Idris, but
Oh yeah,
we'd
that was
have
fun. Yeah,
global
that was fun.
global would be complaining
We
about it.
yeah, we ended up having an
We
Idris
broke
versus
the event.
Idris freaking little battle. It was pretty cool. That was fun.
That was badass. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
really cool.
So yes, we found PvP fun once again, of course.
But how did you do that? How did you do that? Through your own creativity, right? Did you rely on
Yeah.
CIG? They just
No.
provided the tools. We did what we could with it, you know?
Yeah. I
So,
mean, that's basically what keeps up on happening is that we keep creating the content,
I mean, even
because they are
even now, like
lacking.
I'm thinking of like 388. How are we keeping ourselves like busy? We're hunting down people. We're actively like looking for fights,
Allegedly.
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 Yeah, allegedly.
We
Uh,
don't exist. So I don't know what you're talking about. There is no
but I'm
I.
just saying, like you have to create your own content in that like regard because if you're just relying on CIG to, provide for it, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
just how
Too many
sandbox games
placeholders.
work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For real.
Okay. Another good way is through common missions, dark and gritty mission sets, and not just good guy, rinse and repeat. Currently, the mission variety is too low. I don't disagree with a lot of this, but so providing actually engaging and thoughtful content, I do agree with that. And it's not just about like creating a wide spectrum of, hey, you have to cater to every player with
Yeah.
these different types of missions, because if they do that, they're just going to be in development hell trying to please all those faces. There's going to be, events that we don't like. There's going to be events that PvEers don't like. And it's just the reality of it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I
yeah.
mean, you just
Sorry,
can't.
rant on.
You can't please everyone in every situation. And I don't know. I think if they really begin to realize that and understand it, it might make things a little less difficult. Trying to find a perfect middle ground for everybody is just not going to happen. What did you just do? Was that a meow? What was that?
I found that somebody sent the like video. Let me see if I can get it working.
Okay.
Thread in link first. Hang on, it's still loading. It's not actually working. Give it a sec. Oh, there it is. Okay, it's been removed. It's the title is we're gonna watch this, by the way. So this is on like the Wayback Machine. Streamer griefed me while doing a scrap mission. But why? So the context, can someone give a little bit of context from chat? I think Thumb was fucking with somebody. I think it was Tom, right? Or he posted for somebody else.
I thought Tom Hanks posted Thumb's video. That's what he said.
Maybe that's what it was. Yeah, let's take a look. Was playing the griefer. Okay, is this gonna load? I think it's loaded. I don't know if there's gonna be audio.
Is this sound?
Yeah, there's no audio. Not even on
Murder
my
hobo engaged.
There it is.
Can you hear
there
that?
it is.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh my god, this is terrible.
Buffering. Okay, we're gonna let that load while we do something else for a minute. So
Kill all those pathetic PvE hobos.
I recognize that name. That is
Scuff just like SC.
that's Vex. So I'm a disenfranchised bounty hunter. There used to be justice in Stanton. Bounty hunters
that
chase
was his
criminals
favorite.
around.
Vex's favorite.
It was,
and
then it was. He loved bounty hunting,
and they still haven't
and
fixed
criminals. Yeah, had to keep their head on a swivel at all times. I miss bounties in Stanton when it was a thing, because legitimately, if there was nothing else to do, you could fall back on it as being kind of unpredictable content, Now there are no bounty hunters, none at all. Bounty hunting contracts have been busted for what, 8 months now, maybe even longer.
Bro, just use my link above. Did you leave a link somewhere?
Nox posted in the Discord. It didn't actually go through because Twitch just automatically, it censors it. Sorry, dude.
Ass? Is that what ASS? Oh no, the 3 stars is probably starts with a G, you bastard. Oh no, he just put 3 asterisks in mine.
I've got the videos working now.
Okay, all right, let's give that a try. It's to his only feet. Thank God. Let's see it.
And I don't. It's in the Discord. Okay. Give me a second. We're going to bring that one up into Discord. Thank you very much, Nox, by the way. Old
Nox.
Reddit. There we go. Okay. Guys, thanks for being right on that and helping us try to find that. Because sometimes it's hard to find when things just get deleted. Thanks, Knight Rider.
Thanks, Knight Rider CIG. I love it's always a good idea to try to censor people too. That's the best.
Slash comment violates. OP is part of this guy's community. Right after the streamer killed that guy, he said he wanted his community members to post clips to so he's got like some kind of challenge for his community to post his clips as their own, right? Is that what I understand? I could be wrong.
Maybe. Oh wait, is the video working?
The video's working, yeah. I mean, it's what we just saw a second ago. This one looks a little clearer.
I didn't see it. I don't even know what the hell happened.
Can you not see it right now?
Oh no, I can see
Murder
it.
hobo engaged.
There we go.
He blew up someone trying to do a mission.
In their bum right now.
Or did a tree.
The music.
Yeah,
is that what he got banned? That's what he got banned from.
So Tom posted it, right?
How can you be so soft?
You guys will have to explain that in chat while we're going through some of this.
Right. Music was
The
perfect. Yeah, it
music is
was.
perfect. Yeah, 100% it is.
It's
Yeah.
going to be the new giveaway entry thing. Whoever gets the most salt wins. Is that like
I'm trying to find.
what in Reddit, in the SC Reddit though? Is that where they want it, or in his Discord? I'm sorry, I maybe I get confused by
I
that.
don't know.
If it's in Reddit, it's gonna just be a
Tom Hanks was a
bands
victim, and
handed
he
out.
was posting it like he was the one that got killed. Got it. All right.
Oh really?
So
He got
yeah,
wait, hold on. He got banned from it for posting a
for
video of him
pretending to
getting
be,
killed.
he wasn't actually killed. He was pretending to be the one that was shot down and saying this guy
Oh,
killed me.
oh,
Got it.
this meanie.
I heard a little bit about this from Thumb the other day when I was spamming like TTS stuff into his chat and sort of in advance. So we're gonna kind of shift our focus a little bit here. Sorry, I don't want to read like anything else from. It's just fucking paragraphs. So the next question that I have for you is kind of on topic with what we're talking about. So my question for you, Elder, and for anybody else in chat, if you guys want to hop into our Discord, feel free to just like pop in. We're taking live callers the entire show. So just follow that link right there. Join us. We'd love to hear from you.
Follow it.
Follow it. Okay.
Follow
But
me.
the question is, as an early access alpha, what currently serves as a placeholder for endgame content in Star Citizen? And a lot of this might be kind of just open to interpretation, but this is what we have because again, it's a sandbox game. It is what you make out of it, right? PvP and organic areas of contention. I actually put together a poll, and that was the first one. Good job, guys, by the way. Player-driven encounters. That's a huge one. That's important. You know, like creating that content, finding those locations where to find players, and having interactions, killing people. I don't know, whatever you want to do. Encounters, regardless. Player generated content without payouts. That's one that Jack Axton recommended. High risk, high reward contracts, higher rep faction contracts. Again, this is not like endgame. This is just what we have. Scheduled events, supply or die, Jumptown 2.0, earned vehicles, items, rewards, and money sinks. So,
Bounty hunting was the PvP I was most interested in. Without that, I don't have much motivation to engage in PvP.
who said that?
It's in
Oh, it's
chat.
from YouTube. I missed
Essential,
that one.
essential asa. Saw.
Okay. Yeah,
Interesting.
it is crazy that yeah, I do tut. I was gonna say, how has CID done with providing endgame? Like overall, how do you feel they've done providing endgame content placeholders for the community? You know, do you have like any input on that one? I think we're both gonna probably have similar input for that one, but
yeah, I think it sucks. I think in concept,
yeah,
some of the ideas they put out there is great, but
execution
the
is weird.
one thing that I hear people really reminisce about the most is the organic jump town that happened. And
Yep.
then when they started trying to take control over it and create this like fantastic event, I think kind of ruins it. I think the solution realistically is if they actually get dynamic um, economy, dynamic rep
Mhm.
system, and allow it to drive itself a lot. You know, I think that's where I think the end game should be organic. I think it turns out better that
Yeah.
way. I've said this multiple times in the past where I always find that a lot of like the most popular either locations or popular events tend to be the ones that aren't intended from my experience.
I mean, look at Slam Wars 318
Mm-hmm.
RMC.
Mm-hmm.
Wars, what was that, like 3.22 or like 2.1? I forget which patch that was.
Yeah. So I think if anything,
Wars, miss that.
I think it would be cool to drive this end game content through manipulation of just uh items in the economy and stuff like that. I mean, I know we're not there yet, but I think
No,
that's what
no.
realistically would probably make the so for example, there is let me think. I'm just gonna throw some weird thing out here.
Mhm.
Let's say there's
Yeah,
like
it's fine.
a item maybe a let me think. I don't know, a processing plant that there's maybe two in all of Stanton, for example, and those two process a certain material which isn't high value, but suddenly gets switched to being high value due to whatever reason, right? And the only way to get it, like it's always been like this, to get in you have to kind of like break in, I don't know, hack the code for the outside. That's always like that. The only difference is the price went up, somebody discovers it, and all of a sudden it becomes a rush. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
maybe situations like that I think would create, but rather than just like plopping down, and I know this is also part of development, to be fair, but rather than just plopping down like a new facility and saying you have to go in and do this and that and this, right? It rather
Mhm.
be that stuff always exists there, but the need all of a sudden increases. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Is that
the actual demand for it. That makes
yeah.
sense.
Yeah,
Mhm.
the demand is just created through maybe slight supply and demand and price manipulation, maybe something like that.
Here's what I would this is again, this is just personal thoughts. If they wanted to really generate hype and intrigue in the game, you introduce content without telling people about it. Let them discover it like naturally. Leave some hints and that's it. But
Yeah,
the issue right now is that a lot of these like events and everything, they're all commercialized. They're
yeah,
intended to go along with a ship sale.
no,
And because of
no,
that, I'm sorry,
yeah,
that's what we got. This is what
yeah,
we get.
yep. I agree. And um, I'm going to be less critical than I typically am.
That's
And
fine.
say it is fair that to say that they're also doing this because they're trying to do certain stress tests or whatever, right?
Yep. Mhm.
So I understand that, but if we're looking at it from like a gaming perspective, like let's get that damn economy up and running already because they've been talking about it coming soon, TM, for like what, 4, 5, 6 years? I don't even know, right? Um,
Yeah.
so where is it? Let's get that moving, because I think that would help a lot. I think that would help a hell of a lot. And I think probably most people agree. We got
Yeah.
Calamity in the waiting room, by the way.
Yeah, let's drag him in. Give me a second. I got it. Hey, Calamity, did you have a question?
Calamity. Oh, is he muted?
No, he's good. We'll just talk until he's here.
Hello?
So a few things. Oh, hey, there he is. There he is. Speaking of which, hey, welcome, dude.
Hey, what's up,
Did
guys?
you doing pretty good? How are you?
Doing good. How are you guys? Yeah, I was just listening to your conversation about like what's Endgame stuff like that. I put my response in the post too, and it should really just be org stuff, man. Like that should be the Endgame.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Placeholder
and
stuff.
exactly. I don't even think they need to do that though. For the yeah,
Oh,
no,
there we
I can
go.
hear you.
Sorry about that. No, you can hear me, but they couldn't. Thank you,
Yeah. No
Knox
worries. No worries.
and
Thanks,
Rinsep.
guys.
Oh, okay. But I honestly, I don't even think that you need to go that in depth about it. I think they just need to like just make the framework of like the Star Citizen, the Citizen Con framework they were talking about doing that
Yeah,
Citizen Con with
yeah.
the org and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the best baseline you can get, and then started adding missions for orgs only, and like put like stipulations on them, stuff like that for like for instance, like
Yeah,
it doesn't even need to be the massive base building or star like what you call it, like spaceship building or like
Yeah.
the instant battle fleets. It can even be something like simple. Oh, like what's the name of this? Was it Frontier Fighters or something like that? They can like tie into lore or whatever, but like the Frontier Fighters are like the slicers now, and they're attacking the Banu or something like that. And you have to get your team together, right? And you can only use a Polaris and a couple of small fighters, and like the carry in that Polaris to fight them. And it would really like just like, oh, this is a hard difficulty thing for orgs only and stuff like that. And the reward could be something like having to do with like crafting in the future or some shit like that.
That
Yeah.
really sounds like a good comparison would be like endgame bosses or like dungeon raids for MMOs,
Yeah,
right? Similar to that
yeah,
extent.
something like that.
There should be also, like supportive gameplay for solo gameplay or like duos, trios, group gameplay. There should be that, but there shouldn't be a fear of like crossing it over. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't like be super hard to make an instant thing. Like in the world, yeah, that would probably be kind of rough. Those Idris fights were pretty like bad,
Hmm.
but like in like instance areas, which they said they were going to do. So I don't know if they're going to do it or not, but like they said
Yeah,
they were
it's hard
going
to
to do
say.
those instance. Yeah, they said they were going to do those instance areas where you can have these giant fleet battles. Just like put like I don't know, like maybe a Polaris or something like that. Fight the Polaris with a full armada of people and have restrictions on your org to what you can fly and what you can bring. Type thing.
Hmm.
I mean, I think
Um,
that'd probably be like
I think
really
it should
good
be. I think it would be good.
Uh-huh.
I think that would be a good addition. Um,
Yeah, I think it'd be
I,
pretty good.
I, and I also feel like too this like not too much that could be added to, you know what I mean? So that on top of multiple other, but yeah, I do like the whole idea of like the orc stuff, and I feel like it makes sense for the direction of the game anyway. All right, it's really like it's a game of war from what I could tell mainly, right? They're
Mm,
building large scale fleet battle mechanics basically, right? So I mean that should be a very large component of it.
yeah, yeah, I agree. Yeah, but on a different thing though, on like kind of the same, but do you guys think they're going too heavy on this narration kind of thing though, like the story building and all that, like for the state of the game?
I'll take this one. So I think it's too it's too bland. If they're trying to
Yeah.
go for like a story, like the freedom fighters were actually the slicers the entire time. Like, I'm sorry. Like we can be more creative than that if that's what we're trying to go for.
They
Like
were
make something
actually the
intriguing.
slicers.
And it is also one of those things where it could be like, the lore. Some people are really into that, but the like casual, like player, like the everyday player, most of the time when they're like going through like, an NPC or the, other like I don't know. It's
Yeah, for a terrible storyline they are leaning
Yeah.
too much
just
into.
like a lot that just gets skipped over anyways or just ignored, and just like your real focus is like on the event stuff like that you earn necessarily. I don't
Mm,
know. It varies
I mean,
from person to person, but I
it
feel like that.
is, yeah, and I mean, it is cool to have like a good background story and everything, but
Yeah.
like, how much attention, like, over the whole of the community, how much attention are people really putting into the freaking storyline to begin with? I mean, it's like it's there and everyone knows it exists, but nobody really like nobody's game playing. A majority, I'd say, probably like 99% are not leaning into the gameplay based on the storyline at all. They want to play the game. And a lot of people may want to kind of have their own background story, right? It's so I don't it feels silly, and it is a pretty, I don't know, it does feel rather light.
Sorry. I think when it comes to like depth, I don't want depth in like story building. I want it in gameplay,
yeah,
Yeah,
substantial gameplay. That's where
yeah.
I
I'd
think
rather
it's
see the
like
focus because it's no different than like, hey, look at these really elaborate environments that you can look at.
Hmm.
But
I think the way they
what else can
implemented
you
it
do?
was kind of like really weird. Kind of
Yeah.
it wasn't ready for it because like even the chick that was on the like IC or something like that, the Star Citizen videos, it's like, oh yeah, we hid data pads all over the place. You guys didn't figure it out. And it's like, what data pads? I didn't see any data
Yeah.
They're
pads.
probably all glitched anyway.
Probably
You're
under
looking
the
at it. It's a
ground.
black screen. Was it supposed to read something? Well, there goes the mission.
Yeah, you didn't figure it
But
out. We're
here,
not the problem. It's not us. It's you.
You have to pledge for this
yeah,
one
and
to
I
read.
was like,
Yeah,
what the heck is she talking about?
it's
And I was
yeah.
like, you could have just done the Moby Glass thing because what was the mission? What was the event where we had the? Was it like Was it the Accursion event or something? When you had to fight the slicers and the Idris, and like you had to calm like over the phone, like over the Moby Glass, saying, "Oh, you're recruited" or something like that. They're looking for recruits to fight the slicers. or something
Mm.
like that. You know what I'm talking about, right?
I don't. I don't
I
know
know
what
what
you're
you're
talking
talking
Okay,
about. I forget what it was.
but basically something like that where they just go over your movie glass and maybe even
Mhm.
put like little hollow, like a little TV right there and say, oh, yo, this is Frontier Fighters. They're evil now. You know, like
That vaguely reminds me of the like first few months when Fallout 76 was out, and the content that they had was you reading the terminals.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, audio
Oh,
I don't mind. Actually, I like the idea of like audio reading off to you as opposed to reading it on an actual like movie glass, if that makes sense, right?
yeah. I mean, that's that. I think that makes it better. And by the way, you got 5 gift subs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Yeah. All right. Only 295 less to go. All right. I'm
Just not right
sorry.
there. Okay. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
Oh shoot. We got tunes also
I
in the waiting room. FYI. Go ahead,
Mhm.
like
Calamity. I'm sorry.
no, it's all good, man. Like, have you guys ever played Dead Space?
Yep.
I haven't.
Okay,
No, I'm not a real gamer.
the holotapes. You know the
Mhm.
holotapes they put in, and like you have an audio log, and then if it's like a really big one, it have like visuals and stuff like that too.
Oh, that
Like
makes
that's
me
Yeah.
think of what is it? Alien Isolation, I think it was.
Yeah, very similar to that.
it's
Yeah.
yeah, kinda.
I only play Starfield. I'm sorry. Yeah, I've never touched any
Yeah.
other sci-fi games in my life.
I role play the most dangerous.
I'm looking for a co-op version of Starfield without like, loading screens. So if you guys see that, let me know. I'm looking for it. Okay, I'm sorry.
No, it's such
Very off
that was
topic
so
tonight.
bad with all the loading screens. Everything you do
Mhm.
is so bad.
But
Anyway, yeah, I'm continue.
the latest supplier die stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like man, I don't understand how you can just wait as like a panel and watch the little thing just click for like copper one at a time every 15 minutes, man. That's AIDS.
That's called engaging gameplay for PvE.
Oh my god! Like it's like, and if you can't do that, then it's unplayable. The game's unplayable because you can't hire an escort. And literally, I hired 5 escorts during the last week, and 4 of them went through, and one of them I got hit. But like, I kind of like lost half my cargo, but I made it. But the thing is, I made like tons of profit just doing data tree, and it was like I didn't have a real problem with it at all, with just hiring people for like a mil and then getting like 5 and 6 back by just doing the mediums.
Wait, and what?
So, doing data tree and supplier die.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like, because you were talking about like how everybody's complaining about just being PvE and they don't want to take risks or anything like that. And honestly, just hiring I got a guy in an Aurora MR in my A2. Yeah. And I was like, okay, I'll take you to the spot. You just fly for maybe an hour or two. And it's like, just covered me. And I'll just move all the boxes myself. And he was just in an MR Aurora and shot down 3 people coming to the spot over Bloom.
Wait a second. Was that Birdwatcher?
It was A-Top.
Oh, okay.
I
I was just wondering because I've heard
Was
there's
it
this guy
Aurora
that-
Squadron?
I think Aurora Squadron is the
Sounds like Ass Squad to me.
It sounds
I think he is an Aurora Squad guy because he was just masterful in that thing. It was incredible.
yeah. That's impressive.
But more people just got to start asking for escorts, man, and you just like do the thing because I know people are just still waiting for the ticks and the panels now in the event at the end.
Yeah, I think one of the reasons why we're not seeing a lot of like that, like escort stuff, and it's because of the lack of depth to begin with, and the reward really like accounts for nothing, right? So it's like if people have a lot of money, there's not a lot to spend it on, so there's not a lot of people want to be hired. Maybe I don't know. It's the whole thing. It's just a broken system. So I think it's just creating those issues too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think it's depending how much you value the skins. So if you're like a combat player, you're not gonna really value a vulture skin highly, But like, if you're like industrial and then you like do RMC or you mine with the prospector, maybe it's worth it to you. So
Bob
That
Laris. Sorry, I'm reading.
that's a good point too from Bob Laris. No, that's a good point from Scarred Citizen. Also, Bobs don't trust non-Bobs. That's true. They don't. They're like, we're all definitely rapists. Like what?
No idea.
I know I'm not supposed to say that word, am I? They like grapes. Anyway.
Okay, moving on.
yeah,
I was going to say, Calamity, was there anything else that you want to add by any chance? Just kind of checking.
like the last thing. What do you guys think of the? We had some time to like the cook on it, the item recovery. What do you guys think of it now?
Still the same opinion. It's a step backwards for what they're trying to do, I feel. Like they refuse to, create a working economy, and it seems like, this is an active step away from that.
Yeah.
So
It gives
I
less.
feel like.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say it's just
Well,
less. There's more reason to just kill for no reason. I think.
Yeah, it encourages murder hoboing more.
Yeah,
I think because
I
they
think
got
so.
nothing to do. But like now, I just like keep the grenade launcher on my back and go into ZZs and start blowing up everything.
Well, they're seeking
Like,
a solution for the grenade launcher issue, right? Why don't they just introduce cooldowns or something on the ammunition or whatever? I don't know.
well, they removed ammunition for grenade launchers and railguns.
they limited it as like a band-aid. Yeah, it's
Yeah, but you can just buy it again. So, but
only
what you
affects
call it?
across
But that's it though. Like, I don't know
chambers.
what direction they're thinking the game is going now. If they're making it more like it's, I don't know. At first, I thought they were making it more Eve-like, and now they're making it more like, what's the game that like is really bad nobody likes?
Starfield.
Now the other one, the other space game.
Oh, Elite Dangerous.
Elite Dangerous.
Elite Dangerous, yeah. Now I feel
Yeah.
like a more Fairberry.
Yeah, it's moving more in that direction. I think. Whatever. I don't know if the game has a lot to offer at this point. It's like that's my other problem. It's like PvP is literally the only thing that offers challenge, and I feel like that's being reduced. And there's not a whole lot of content realistically. Like I don't know how people do the same thing over and over again with no end goal and no meaning for it. So I don't know.
I'm telling you, I guarantee you there's some people just to log into a station and look at that terminal and waiting for it to hit 15 SCU of copper to buy it.
I mean, while you're getting hit by like a cart, right? The one guy with the cart like pummeling through the line, knocking people over. There's your PvP.
Yeah, that's the PvP. It's going to be reduced to that in chat.
I mean, realistically, sometimes I just log in and look at the terminal and then log out because I don't know what to do. So, we got a Calamity. We could appreciate you jumping in here.
No problem, guys.
We got to get Tunes in here too, or Tune V.
All right, you guys have a great night.
You as well.
You too, man.
Later, guys.
Later, bud.
Okay. Yeah, if you want to pull him in, you can.
Hey, easy.
All right, now kick him.
Now kick him? Why would you do that? No.
I'm just kidding. Oh, hey, how you doing there, buddy?
What up? What up?
How you doing, man? What was your question?
Good.
It's good. It's good. I saw your comment earlier, by the way. Where was that? You can talk about any subject regarding this game, and eventually you end up at economy.
Yeah. So, I think you guys kind of nailed it on that one where economy is kind of at the core of everything. I think the organic stuff obviously I think made sense. OG Jumptown was really cool.
Yeah.
The fact that you had to discover it, you had to like land nav your way in there, kind of made it so if the value of whether it was the drugs or whatever what you were getting out of there wasn't as known by many people at the time, and then it became kind of like this place where like the war happened and people fought over it. And then
Yeah.
obviously, to your point, Dad, you said that they then monetized it, right? They found a
Mhm.
way to say, "Oh, we're going to create the Jump Town event," even though Jump
Yeah.
Town was created by the
And
community.
steal the cutlass steel. I mean, sell it,
Yeah.
not steal it. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
They monetized it. Exactly what they did.
Yeah.
You're right.
So then they monetized it, even though it was an event created by the community.
Mm.
But at the end, I guess what I'm saying is the game loop that we do know that is completed, whether we want to consider that a game loop or not, is money. They generate money, buy things. Let's call that the game loop because that's what everyone's playing.
Yep.
They generate money, they buy things.
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
So then why is it when there is, and again, this is a rhetorical question or just something to discuss, then why is it when there's a hack for credits, you don't reset them? Why is it that when you find an exploit, you don't reset it? Because this is the things that we are actually keeping us engaged. Eventually, the reason we find no value in credits is because I can log in and create them out of thin air. Like I don't have to do anything to generate the credits that I want in the game. So even the little bit of interest that you that you get out of me into the game when you reset it is gone within 2 to 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Within 2 to 3 days, you have removed that interest from me. So I guess yeah, to your point, yeah, the economy. It all comes down to economy. We can go through everything and go right back down to economy.
Mhm.
Could I actually bring
And I
up a
don't
panel?
understand.
Actually, I want to talk about this while we're speaking with Easy. So why does Star Citizen still lack proper end game content in 2025? What's missing? Sorry about the wall text. I feel like a Bob posting all this, but there was a lot to like. I feel like
Feel
I'm on the
like
spectrum.
you feel like you're
Guys,
being
this is what's
yourself,
wrong
my
with me.
friend. Are you being
Mhm.
yourself?
Oh yeah, definitely. So again, just want to recap what you just said. Easy. CIG refuses to get a working economy and seems to be making active steps away from it, i.e., tier 0 item recovery. It's a system that active, like I'm sure it's for testing new systems that they're going to implement in the future, but in the current version of the open alpha, it does affect a lot of the gameplay, and it's crazy that we didn't introduce this in a different way. Like maybe just pledge items. I don't know. So, CIG hasn't introduced gameplay elements to promote money sinks, resource gathering, etc. So, hence why most gameplay loops are active placeholders. This is also kind of capping what you said. This feels like I'm just reviewing. I'm sorry. Star Citizen primarily relies on economy for player progression in the form of rewards. Reputation just allows access to those rewards. And that's what we have right now. We don't have the crafting, we don't have the base building, the ship maintenance costs, the insurance. None of that is in the game, and that's why it feels like a lot of this
Wait,
boils down to no value.
you're saying reputation allows access to the rewards right now? I mean, it's
Yes.
just
So
there's too many like loopholes around that. It feels like.
there, yeah. Like you and I could just sit in the same lobby and do like the evaluation. I don't know if they fixed this, but one person could take the contract shirt with everybody, and then they suddenly have access to ERTs. That was a thing. I don't know if it is anymore.
Yeah.
That was the way that
They,
they used to
they
work before. That's right.
yeah.
Yeah.
I know we did have that at the beginning of 4.0 with the shared rep would just give full payout for everybody. They fixed that, so they're taking some steps to negate those issues. But again, like we're getting these credits. What are we sinking it into? Really, just buying ships.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
but they've reduced the value of those credits by making them so it's inflation, I guess. I
yep,
don't know what else to call it.
yep.
It's oh well, I can go ahead and like I remember, I guess so. Well, when was it the zero to hero became really popular? What was that like 317?
317, I think. That sounds
Yeah,
about right.
yeah, like zero to hero was like a thing, right? Like I remember seeing the videos, the content creators, everybody trying to do a zero to hero with their character. Um, you want to try to do a zero to hero today? You could probably complete it in a day, dude, if you try hard enough.
Yeah, that's what
Easily, yeah.
sucks. Is like it even then, Zero to Hero, it's a good concept, but it's like because there's so much missing, like just for example, um I should be able to zero to hero from like a random outpost on microtech, for example, and start off with nothing, make my way in a certain direction, be able to freaking eat stuff that I pick on the way, whatever. You know what I mean? Like if it's like
Yeah.
all the stuff they want to have, like, and then get to a city. If there's not, isn't there supposed to be like roads and stuff that they're gonna create, linking different like outposts and all this stuff? I don't even
Sure.
know where
Yeah.
that's going. But so
2 years.
like
2 years.
it,
2 years.
it's
In 2
so
years.
it's yeah, people are spending a lot of time trying to make a zero to hero scenario, and work around mechanics that aren't there yet. For example, persistence for the character, right? When you lay your head down to rest, you should wake up wherever you are, right? And that's not happening either. Um, but yeah, zero to hero now would just be, you'd be literally in a day you're doing okay.
Yeah,
I feel like people are probably
which
just trying to stretch it out. In fact, some of the content creators I saw that were doing zero to hero, I haven't seen them do a post on that in a long time.
well, that actually proves the point, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
If
Yeah.
you were able to zero to hero in 317 and actually make content out of that and get fun out of it, wouldn't that say that you somehow went backwards in the economy now? Would you
Mm.
say that it's worse? You actually can't consider that content. And again, this is player driven content. We created Zero to Hero as the community. They didn't do this. Someone
That makes
somewhere
me
said, okay, go
I'm
ahead.
sorry.
Sorry. Good.
I was gonna say that makes me wonder how much the economy team has for quality assurance on the
Correct.
teams before it goes live, you know?
Yeah. Right. So that kind of shows you again, it's the 2 steps forward, 1 step back, or in some places, multiple steps backwards and maybe questionably a step forward when it
Yep.
comes to this. Because if at 317 I as a player coming into the game would find any content creator doing a zero to hero and I find this something interesting to me, economy driven, I make my own money, you know succeed via my work and growing my bank account, um and that gets me in, creates entertainment for me for a couple of months or a couple of weeks, versus now where again you're now filthy rich within a couple of days because I don't know, Detatrine. Let's start with that.
Yep.
That thing's completely broken.
Mhm.
That's too much money being generated too quickly. Again, slow. Like I don't understand why CIG saw this. Someone at QA saw this and was like, "Yeah, these numbers make sense. Like, yeah, this looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can buy an 890 with 3 days worth of work."
Well, what are they waiting for to start tying things together? Like, what is it we're waiting for to get this
That's
stuff they've been promising for so long? Is it,
Base building, crafting mechanics.
is it just a
I don't know.
case of ADHD, company ADHD, where they just can't focus on one thing and that's just a problem?
I think it is a matter of I don't know if the term is feature creep. I think that's what it used to be, where you always have your audience anticipating that there's going to be something bright and fresh for content somewhere in the near future. Don't announce the actual time, but they can look forward to that. So when you're in this, kind of development hell, you don't really think about it because you're like, oh, hey, don't worry. In a few more patches, they'll solve those problems. By then,
Well,
it's irrelevant
eh,
because
yeah.
the entire content is broken.
Blues. Am I wrong though? Yeah. I mean, I'm creating a term here. ADHD game development. I mean, how else can we describe what it's been? It's their focus has been in so many damn areas at once that everybody's just spread too thin. It was,
it's
and I've talked about this before. How it seems like they think the more people that they throw at it, the better off they'll be. But with poor management, it doesn't make a difference. What are you gonna say,
I
Twos?
I know that I think I've mentioned this before in conversations in the past where it's like unless we're missing something, and then again this will also still be CIG's fault even though I'm trying to defend them. Unless unless we're missing something and we're only seeing the parts that they're allowing us to see, which is fine, but then don't tell me that you're going to give me full transparency. Um
Yep.
unless we're missing something that connects everything that they've been doing and then somehow magically there's going to be this big reveal where they go, sorry we put you through all this but here you go, like unless there's going to be this one big moment, which again still their fault that we're complaining right now because you hid this whole moment from us or this connector even though you told us 100% transparency, um
Yeah.
which I think is the problem with the way that it's the blessing and the curse of the way the CIG develops. um we all pledged it. We all know the whole story. Yeah, we committed to this game. Yeah, we're the ones that decided to sink in money. Yeah, blah 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 blah. Um,
Yeah.
but here we are, right? And I don't understand tier
Yeah.
0, right? I'm just using that because it's the latest. And I've been
Yep.
playing this game long enough, and it's like, I don't understand how, after all the years that we've complained about certain things, this is the solution. Yet I can go into any Discord today, Bob or not, and 20 people will give me a better solution than this.
Yeah. Let's see here. Mazda? The engine is incapable of delivering the game. That's fair. You're right, by the way, Blues. Yeah, I mean, sure, it feels like that because I don't understand development. Realistically, I don't. So, um, but Scarred said Chris Roberts has shown multiple times that the larger the crew, the less incapable, or yeah, the more incapable to manage it he becomes. That's probably true. Maybe.
I'm going to end on one more question, then we'll probably wrap up there because we have kind of hit the hour mark, and I know there's other things going on tonight. This is easy if you want to answer this with us, by all means. What would be some proposed fixes to bring engaging in-game content to Star Citizen, which favors player agency? Focus on economy? Is that what you would say?
Um, Definitely focus on economy, but I think you, in the beginning or earlier on, you said one that was really good. It's create content and just drop hints in there. I mean, I still say that Jump Town was one of the best things that the game had. And, you know, sorry, CIG, I won't give you this one. The community created that. Jump Town was created by the community until it was monetized
Yep.
by them, but it was probably one of the most fun experiences in the game.
Hmm.
Sorry, if you knew about it, you knew about it. If you didn't, you didn't. But that's kind of what made it cool.
It was pretty
Um,
fucking
Well,
great.
right. Um, and then obviously this event driven stuff. I understand that they're creating content,
yeah.
but this ain't it, Chief.
I don't even
Like
think they
Okay.
should. I think if they should create a demand without telling you where the supply is.
Fucking copy pastas. I'm
Almost.
sorry.
There should be
yeah, like
situations when I'm not reading that. There should be situations where
Don't read it.
I,
stiletto.
Stiletto brought the copy pasta to me. You son of a. Anyway, so no, but I mean, I feel like there should be situations. JT save never. There should be situations where it's like a station is saying we require this amount of material. Please bring it to us. We'll pay top dollar. And the
I'll
Mhm.
community
I'll pose a
is like,
question.
where do we get that from? Like the community is the one that
You
figures
got to
it out.
figure
I
it
feel like
out.
stuff like that should be
We
part
get
of
the
it.
tools. You got to figure out the rest on your own.
I'll pose
You
the
know.
question. You think there were too many depots? Like, I think there were too many of them.
If you're trying to generate good PvP content, sometimes it is nice to create like 2 or 3 or just rotate like the original Jumptown. That works, but I don't know. I think we have enough players with meshing where it kind of worked and they had isolated fights. Like you had some on Bloom, some on, different locations. I don't know. I think I'd rather have just one at a time though, or just one.
Hmm.
Contend
Uh,
against that and then just go at it, you
who
know?
go? When was the last time you went to that planet that kills you? The one that like you can't even stand on it. Like who goes to that depot? I want to know who goes to that depot and goes, "This is a great idea. Let me go to that one."
Yeah.
Wait, which one?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
You gain nothing. You gain nothing. Like this is one of those things where I just sit there and it's like someone sat there and decided to create a base for the sake of creating a base. There's no extra gain. It's a bunch of extra effort for no bonus. Like you know what would have
Hmm.
if this is the direction that we're going where economy they're just giving away credits. You know how you would have made that super exciting? Make that be worth more. Make that one be the most valuable one where everybody got to run around looking like the Michelin man just to survive. Like if this is what they're trying to do, this is what makes me believe that this was just something that wasn't well thought out. It just wasn't
Yeah.
well thought out.
I mean, the
Um.
slicers were always the frontier fighters.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Not super
Uh.
well thought out. I'm not trying to shit on the people that like make these stories, but let's
Blues, I
go beyond
agree.
surface
By the way,
level.
yeah, I do want the
Yeah,
why, not just the need. Right? I
I do
want it
want the
to
why as
mean
well.
something. Yeah, I
Yes.
agree.
Mhm.
I agree with that. Um. Do you
Yeah.
have anything else, Tune?
No. No, I just thought it was a fun conversation. And yes, I think you guys nailed it on the head with the economy part. Everything leads back down to economy, and hopefully we can see a real reason to farm these credits or use these credits that we're
Yeah.
making, and not make this much of it. Like I'm sorry, we shouldn't be making this much money. in the game,
I think that again, when I say economy, I'm really thinking rep and economy, right?
Yes,
That's kind of
agreed.
part of that economy, and it will play into it. And I think they even know that, right? They intend on that, but it's like it's supposed to be. They call it dynamic, right? Everything's dynamic. I haven't seen anything dynamic yet, but you
Nah.
know. But yeah,
Every
it's
user
supposed
can
to
be
all
dynamic.
be like interconnected, interlocked, right? I mean, I would go with what Blue's saying about having a why, right? The reason
Yeah.
why this station needs, this material is because they've been creating, I don't know, some sort of item out of it, and it's in high demand right now because a lot of players have purchased from them. Now they need that material badly. The cost goes up, and also the reward of getting that material for them goes up. So I mean that's dynamic, right? So I'd like to see
Yeah.
stuff like that.
What Scar's saying here, like I I understand it's a balancing act as well with that, where they need to make money, they need to fund it, but sometimes I wish that they had better methods.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a tough one because they do need to fund the project. It's just how do they do that if that's the case, you know? I don't
All
think the
right.
gameplay should be affected by like, monetized like, things or whatever. But I mean Star Citizen as a whole exists as you dump money into it. It's intentionally meant to do that,
Yeah, I mean,
you know?
to end it off, and I know you guys gotta call it. I think
Yeah.
if they would have at least lowered the value of things and the money wasn't as easy to make, right now,
Mm-hmm.
piracy, PvP, fighting over cargo, all of this would at least had some intrinsic value that was better
Yeah.
for all of
Agreed.
us. But the fact that like at this rate, I guess the only thing I compare it is there's no reason why every citizen in this universe that we play in doesn't own an 890. Like, there's no such thing as poor. Everyone flies around in an 890 because it's achievable by everyone um, without trying. Um, and
Yeah.
I guess that's what it is. Lower the value of things, make it so we have to work a little bit harder.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I agree. You definitely need to. The thing that it's just too easy. So I agree.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Thanks, guys. It was fun.
Thank you. Appreciate your
Thank you,
time, man.
Tune.
All right. You guys have a good one.
You
You
too,
too.
man.
Thank you, sir.
Later.
Okay. With that being said, guys, thanks for popping by. Thanks for the discussion. I think this is one that I wanted to like discuss after, seeing a couple of posts about it. So you can, if you want to check out this episode at a later time, say you didn't catch the live all the way through, we'll be dropping this sometime later throughout the week on YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm going to post that link. We'll have that there. Go check it out. If you guys haven't followed on this page, please do that.
Another thing
Just-
too, be sure when you see this video, if you go back and watch on YouTube, be sure to comment. And if you dislike our point of view, please feel free to comment that. I'm totally open for it.
Yeah, just it. Like we want to hear that stuff.
Yeah, and you can say
yeah.
Go ahead.
There's a few comments on the last video that I want to like address because I really like hearing different points of view. We might not agree on everything, but I want to make sure that like everybody knows that like when you're in our comments section or just like in chat here, express yourself. We might not agree, but we can at least say it.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I don't care. Say what you got to say about us. It's totally cool. Right? It really is. I mean, people are like, we're tired of hearing you complain. The community loves the saving of the items and whatever. Hey, if that's your opinion, that's fine. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. In my opinion, it's lame. So, well, whatever. Right? Want easy gameplay.
You want to say the exit line today?
Yeah, blippity bloppity blue. Till next time, my griefer crew. I can't. Believe it or not, that came off the top of my head. Elder never agrees with you. I don't agree with a damn thing. It's I gotta say it's really conflicting because anytime there's a point of view, I have to oppose it, and it comes around where I'm just talking in circles. It's weird. Genius. I disagree.
Elder is the reason why I drink, by the way.
What are you drinking? Let me see that.
This is it's an imperial lager. It's called Mexican honey from Brewing and Decay. We are not endorsing this. I like my Yep, cringe episode. Good job.
This was
Get
not
you guys
a
later.
paid sponsorship, but if you're looking to pay us for that sponsorship, we'll take it. This
Right, help to make this.
this stream was brought to you by Shankers.
Thanks for the bits and thanks for the subs, guys. Appreciate
All
the
right,
support.
have a good night,
one.
guys. I'm Dave. I'm driving them up the wall later.